physical therapy at all on.
I really don't want to. I mean, it happened, and it's.
What did they say?
It's not, well, they're very tough, and she was like, "You can move your leg more than that." Oh, stop it! She's like, "Are you going to be crying the whole session?"
Oh my god, what a bitch!
But she's a really good. They're really nice, and I had a really good experience. And right now they want me to put more pressure on the leg, so that I'll be able to build back the strength. So, hey everybody, and welcome to American Groove. We are not stoned yet. We are in the process of rolling our joints at the moment. I am your host, Dave. Welcome. It is April 1st, new month. New us.
April Fool's Day, American Groove Day. Woo! I'm so happy. I really, really wanted American Groove. It is my escape. I get to sit here and talk about shit and smoke weed with my friend Dave. It is great. Dave, it's American Groove Day. Louis says, whoop, whoop.
Doobie-ba-doo-ba-boo. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
I am grinding up my weed. I think it's funny that now sometimes when Dave and I talk, it feels like someone is still listening. But, you know, like even when we're not recording, it kind of feels like we're on a podcast sometimes, which is funny. And that's just because we talk a lot to each other on the podcast. So then like when it's not recording, it sometimes still feels like we're on the podcast, which I think is really funny.
I just love that we sometimes have conversations while I'm sitting there in traffic and I'm going maybe like 5 miles an hour on the expressway, and we're just talking, and then we're just like, so what's that shit that's going about that like chat GPT, EPT, GPT shit? And again, like I'm just sitting there in traffic, and I don't know. That's the thing about conversations. They just happen, you know? It's
a lot of times when you're in the car, we'll have a conversation and it's like, wow, that might have made a really good podcast. You know, like we're we could have recorded that. That was relatable conversation.
Well, there's a podcaster, shout out to him. He's out in Chicago. It's called Con Carnes, where he does his podcast in a car. Like he brings on like these musicians and these foodies, and
that's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's just like, well, where's the best place to have a conversation? Sometimes it's just in the back seat or the front seat of, you know, your 2002 Toyota Camry.
Is it a Toyota Camry?
No, I'm just making that as reference.
I was like, is that what he's fucking driving around? No. That's amazing. My sister has a Toyota Camry.
It's not a 2002 though. That's a little old.
Oh no, dude, her car's old. Like it's like maybe not 2002, but like it's old. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it's like a 2007 or something.
Oh, but, stop it! Get out of here! Really?
It could be older than that. Actually, it'd be funny if it was actually a 2002. Like we should like message my sister and be like, "What year is your Camry?" Because
I actually am curious now. I really want to know like what year.
Whatever
it's none of my business, but I'm just curious. I don't know.
No, she has this like really old as the hills Toyota Camry. It is like legit old. She bought that Camry when she was like kind of at the stage that I'm at in my life, like going to college. She was still further ahead of me at that time. She bought a car.
So to point this out, your parents, you told me this, your mom has this Honda. I think it's a Honda or a Subaru.
No, she's got a Ford. My mother has like a Ford Explorer. That's just like, it's really old. It's like a 2000 or something, like a 2004, 2002.
You say really old.
It's in like perfect condition. Like, and the car is just like beautiful and you can't tell what year it is at all. my parents, they have this way of like driving a car until it completely is done. Like my parents would drive a car for 20 years. And then
As
like
it should be.
I met people who, you know, would just lease cars and just like go through them like crazy. And it was so different. Like I was like, what? Like I don't know. I mean, don't you like not want to have a car payment? And they were like, how? And I was like buy your car? And they were like, how would you do that? And I'm like,
So
oh.
it's a strange experience that we have here in this country, because we're very used to this idea of new things, new technology. Uh, it's all around us. I mean, here in the US, we have just this immense amount of stuff at our fingertips. And because of that, it can, you could use it to your benefit, or it could be a disadvantage. It's the way that you're going to use it. But yeah, it's a very American thing.
I need more. I always like, okay, the hardest thing about being on a podcast is that you're like stuck in one place, like
Correct.
stuck at the computer. And I am such like a person that like wants to like move around and like grab things and like do stuff. And like a lot of times when we're on the phone, I'm doing like a billion things. Today I had my coffee, unlike yesterday. I was like a potato. I called David, or David called me, and I was like, David, I can't do anything. And he was like, well, honey, haven't you just been doing everything for like the past, like, 5 days, the past like weeks? Like you just, just do nothing for a minute. And I was like, meh. Yeah, I could have cried yesterday like a million times. I was just such a little baby.
Can we get the elephant out of the room, honey?
I'm being emotional recently.
What's that noise?
It's Louie.
It's okay. He's emotionally stressing all of us today with his cuteness, and I love it. I love every moment of it. But seriously, can we get the elephant out of the room?
No, we don't need to air my laundry everywhere.
Wasn't talking about you, honey. I was talking about me.
What about you? Your hair? Your hair.
We've been doing this already. We've been recording for about 8 minutes, and anybody that's watching this and has watched other episodes, which shout out to you groovy listeners that are part of this incredible experience. We love you.
Incredible.
But yeah, kind of like what Chris is saying is like this week was just about us just championing, and I feel like this was like a week of like just getting over the hill. And yeah, it was a hill, and I decided yesterday, fuck it. I don't have that much money. I am going to bleach my hair because I love green. Okay. I love green. I love green here. I've always wanted it. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's the thing about you too. And I'm speaking for anyone that's listening here is if you have a goal in mind, if you have an intention, if you want to succeed at something, don't let other people hold you back. Don't let others be the reason that you aren't successful. You have to be your own success. So that means that if you feel that other people watching the wrong way, or you're not feeling placed correctly, try to work around it. Try to be able to focus on what's most important right now than all the negative shit that comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been stuck. I've been stuck before, like where there's actually like nothing that you can do at the moment to like really fix your situation. Like you just have to like better each moment or day or tiny things, because you know that like it's just going to continue. You're kind of just stuck, and that is a really, really hard place to be. So it's almost like you got to have like a short term plan and a long-term plan at the same time.
Yes.
I don't know if other people think this way. A lot of people are like super, super present, and I'm kind of like both. I don't know, maybe people do both, but like I spend too much time thinking about the past and the future, and I mean that could be detrimental to my present, but I don't know. I guess I've been like trying to make new plans recently. And like we were trying to make goals and stuff like that. For you right now, it's obviously like healing. And honestly, one of my goals right now should be healing too. But like I just kind of don't even like look at it. I just kind of like graze over that shit. Yeah.
Well, it's all about being able to do what you can at the present moment. See,
The present again.
no, it's true, because when 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 you're a person such as myself that uses cannabis on a day-to-day basis, okay? I use cannabis as a recreational activity and a medicinal activity to be able to help me sleep, deal with trauma, anxiety, and to have better flow of mindset. When you are approached with so many things, because, honey, let's be honest with ourselves. When you're dealing with medical expenses, you're dealing with financial expenses such as rent, food, medical expenses. For example, if you need to go to the doctor, or if you want to go out somewhere, and you want to have those expenses for a weekend, we all have to be able to see what we can actually do. To be able
Yeah.
to going above your means is limiting yourself. And I'm no stranger to this. I sometimes go above the means that I can afford. I go above the means that I can actually realistically handle. We all do
Well,
sometimes.
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like sit here and bullshit and act like I do the correct thing because I don't. And like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know everything. I'm not gonna sit here and act like smoking pot isn't an escape for me because that's what it fucking is, and that's what I need. And like I know, like, okay, oh, maybe you're supposed to find other escapes. I've got them, so fuck off.
Exactly.
Like I don't know, like I'm just like, yeah, I sit here and I smoke weed and I hang out with my friend and I escape and I go out and I escape and I dance and I do my job too. I work all fucking week. I do school, I study, I do what I'm supposed to, and I'm miserable half the time. And like fuck everybody. Like I'm so exhausted, and like honestly life doesn't really like give you what you want, and people don't give you what you want, and people bullshit you and they give you different things than what you want, and they take advantage of you, and life is
Yeah.
fucking hard and everybody just
Hmm.
wants money, and I just want to be left alone sometimes from all the shit
Which
you
is
know
understandable, just completely understandable. And I was talking with Hannah Dina. She's a friend of mine out in the UK today. And I said to her, I've I've had fears of expressing myself the way that I want to. Uh, Now at 24, I dress the way that I want, whether it be more masculine or feminine. I represent myself the best way I can. I try to be respectful to other people, but there needs to be this understanding of fluid communication. You cannot demand people. You can't proclamate people. You can't tell a person. I can't tell you, no, Carissa, you can't do this.
I think that there's nothing wrong with like explaining to someone why you would rather they don't do something.
Exactly. There you go. Yes.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of got to be like the start of it, is like you maybe let people know like why you're not feeling it, or why you'd want them to do something different, or and a lot of times people just like fucking like lash at you like as soon as you let them know, and that's when like, I'm going to get out of this situation. Is when you tell people, what you need or whatever, and they just say, shut the fuck up. That's when you're like, okay, well, I guess it's time for me to move on.
See, critical thinking is important to have because having rational criticism coming from another person, I'm not, again, I am guilty for this. When someone criticizes you, it hurts and you want to fight back. It's a natural instinct that is a part of the beast.
Yeah, but you don't think like some people are just terrible at giving criticism? They're just assholes.
100%. Yes, there's a way of doing it. That's why I said rational criticism. There's a difference of what is rational. You know what? Let's break this down. What is rational criticism?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to explain this? You probably do a better job.
I mean, it's when people don't bottle everything up and then fucking blast it out on you. Like eventually, it's the opposite of that. Go on.
No, it is the opposite of that, and it's more than that because you again are allowing this fluid communication. You're telling the person the things that you find bothersome, and you're giving a reason to that. And that's the way that you're able to build that communication with the other person. To be able to better understand the other person's view, the other person's perspective, and maybe learn something from it. All it takes is just not being a shitty human. That interesting? It's just don't be a shitty human.
I don't know. Everybody's got like these like different definitions of what is a shitty human and what
it's
isn't.
not. You don't need a definition because
I'm saying like everybody like they've all like people have grown up and learned a different idea, a different perspective of what is shitty and what's not, is what I've noticed. Like I've learned that what is shitty to you is not the same as what is shitty to someone else.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
And so that's where it's like, wow, don't be a shitty person. A lot of times the reason that person is being shitty is because they honestly believe that it's not shitty of them.
Because it's again comes back to ego.
Disagreements and differing perspectives. People are just going
political
to disagree.
View or religious beliefs, marital. I'm serious. Marital.
People are going to disagree, and that has been my biggest argument recently for people who want to just argue anything with me. Anything. People want to argue about all the things, Oh, well, what is it that people want to argue about? Oh, they want to argue about the things that I shouldn't bring up, right? Oh, I shouldn't say it, right? Oh, they want to argue about trans, and they want to argue about vaccines, and they want to argue about abortion, and they want to argue about it all, but they don't want to actually like talk about it. People don't want to bring it up, and they don't want to pick a side, and they don't want to do anything.
You want to hear something?
The people just gross me out.
To add what you're saying, I had the other day, but I had throughout this week, people have been posting episodes, and I read a short article on this where there's a question about LGBTQ because people have this belief that the T, again, I'm only saying this out of example, that the T and the Q doesn't belong with the L, G, and the B. Because
it's not for anyone to decide, and that's what I'm saying is like everybody's not gonna agree.
No,
and that's my best argument for everything. Everybody who wants to argue about all these things on the internet is, I'm just gonna say, you're not gonna get everyone to agree. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, people will disagree, and you find some way to argue with me about that.
I don't want to pick an argument. I love to learn so much from different communities. And when my view and the type of people
for you.
type of people that I go towards are the ones that haven't have open minds. They have open perspectives. They want to be able to have open conversations about real things. And it's not about picking a side. It's not about who believes in who. It really just boils down to, what have you learned? What can you teach me? What can we learn from this story? You know,
Yeah,
we
people's
had a really
egos.
great, like,
They just
we
think they're right.
exactly. And like, we had a really great time. And this was awesome. And I can't wait until we do this again.
Mhm.
I don't, you've taught me this more than anything, is why do we always have to pick sides? What's the purpose? How are we helping the situation?
Well, I believe that people used to just have friendships and relationships with one another, but have differing views. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think it used to be, like, more acceptable for people to have differing views. Now, I mean, there's, like, history where, like, everybody had to be on the same side all the time or they'd murder you. But, like, nowadays, or when my parents were younger, I believe that people had differing views, but they tolerated each other. They were just polite about it. Um, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons to do away with that. Like, I could see somebody's argument, like, oh, so we're just supposed to, like, let, all the biased people be peaceful in their little biased world. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's not really what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say more
No,
that, like,
we're by the way,
you could listen to each other.
just to clarify, what I think we primarily are touching on is actual, like, physical interaction, like physical interaction with people, and being there, the present
Communicating.
moment,
Yeah.
communication, exactly, in the present. Like, I mean, I know that we're doing this virtually, but we've both had that physical experience of being together with other people and having those interactions.
I
um
it's
yeah.
it's interesting to have a conversation with
Mm-hmm.
somebody who I have a friendship with, but we have differing political views, and
Mm-hmm.
I respect this person a lot, but they're very caught up in the I'm going to try not to say anything. They're very caught up in the what is politically correct at this moment, and for me, I have separated myself and all my views from it so much, and I spend a lot of time not thinking about it, that I almost don't even know how to explain my own political views to somebody who needs me to. I I'm not just apolitical. I do it for my own mental health. Like, I have to stay away from it. I can't listen to them. They all have a lot of politicians have a lot of power, and something about, my type of PTSD really freaks me out, to have these people who have this power and this platform and this voice to stand there and go on and on about, what we need to do and what's wrong, and it really freaks me out, as it makes
it's
me feel so
strange
alone.
it's strange to have a person that is supposed to be responsible of millions of people in one state. A governor is responsible for millions of people, and then under him you have councilmen, you have mayors, and you have district supervisors. There's all these different excuse me, different chains, these different routes. So it's complex.
Yeah, I mean, for not wanting to talk about politics, it's funny how much I end up talking about
We're not
politics.
talking about politics.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about not talking about politics,
It's
which
weird.
happens a lot.
It's so odd, and it's very
It
hard to
happens a lot
explain
to
to
me.
people. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It happens to the both of us.
I when I go on dating apps and when I meet people and stuff like that, that is what I end up talking about, is the fact that like I don't talk about politics, which ends up being a conversation in itself. Is the conversation is just talking about politics, not your actual like political view, which maybe for me it's like a way of like hiding and just like staying out of the drama, but like I don't feel that anyone is going to help me there, and I don't look for their help anymore. Like when it comes to politicians, I mean, I collect my food stamps, but I don't go get my nails done.
You do your due
Um,
diligence.
yeah, I mean, like I
Excuse
just
me.
I appreciate things that people do for me, but I just can't be a part of it really. I'll so basically I'll reap the benefits. But I don't know. I don't trust people. They freak me out. It gives me like scary vibes. Maybe someday I'll I'll get involved in the politics again, but honestly, I just feel like it's all manipulative and fake, and I need it out of my life. I don't know. For me, like that's not
It's a
being present.
dangerous. It's and I totally understand where you come from, because it's a dangerous path to cross. It can make people sometimes violent, can make people aggressive. It really just comes down to, are you a person that wants to live in a world where kids are still raised in foster care? You want to live in a world where we live in this incredible country where we don't have free health coverage? We don't have education that's affordable. Now, I'm not saying, I don't want to go to the levels of saying, let's make everything free. That's not realistic. Okay? It's not realistic. And to call that a political thought or a political gesture is incorrect. All I'm saying is, why can't we all have the opportunity for affordable education?
I think that education is really, really challenging.
It
It's
is.
not for everybody.
Mm-mm.
And I think that that is a difficult thing. I think that it takes a lot of stability and focus to do well in school, to get a career that pays you a decent amount of money. And if just one thing goes wrong, it's, like a time period that passes sometimes. This opportunity to go to school, and it's just there's a lot of pressure there.
There is,
The,
yes.
the people make it sound like, "Oh, go to school and better yourself." Well, holy fuck. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, it's a lot of pressure.
Well, it's a lot
Um,
of time and energy, and remembering that if you're a person that lives on your own, such as Carissa over here, absolutely, love you, girl. Um, you have to be able to work and pay your bills and expenses, and then on top of all of that, you got to be going to school.
yeah, I mean, some of that stuff is just really hard to learn, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I see people who have a place to stay. They don't have to work. They have lots of time. They have the food that they need, like whatever. And the concepts are still hard to learn and memorize, And it's like, I just, yeah, there's too many people. I think that the country saying that like they've got us taken care of is like an illusion. And it's not really real. Like you kind of are like on your own. And I think that the for some people living in America is like a wonderful happy-go-lucky fantasy because they already have this stability from the generations before them.
and
But for other
and
people,
and remembering that this country has given a lot of freedoms that mostly do not exist in other countries.
yeah, but like for other people in America, I think maybe there should be more honesty
Right.
about the
Okay.
fact that like America's not there for you and
Mhm.
you are on your own and you need to climb this ladder
Mhm.
or you are going to have a shit life.
Mhm.
Like,
True. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, maybe for some people, like, dealing with all of this poverty isn't a shit life. Like, maybe it's okay. I have no idea. For me, it's really scary. Like, I'm worried about my teeth. I'm worried about never being able to afford a family. Like, I'm worried I'm worried about living inside of a closet till I'm, dead. Like, it's not cool. Like, and I feel like when I was raised, I was taught in the school system and in our world that, I'm an American and I'm going to have just these great opportunities and all this shit. And it's like, oh, instead, I'm going to struggle my fucking ass off, like, intensely. Like, let's just talk about the price of car insurance. Like, this is not a place where people live their dreams. That is not what I mean, I've done it a little bit here and there, but like it just how are you supposed to live your dreams if you can't drive around to any of the places where your dreams are? I don't know. Like, let's just be fucking real.
Well,
Like,
this is a reality of living in this country. I've lived abroad, and Chris, you've traveled abroad. If you've been to Europe, the transportation systems, and I was in Israel as well, is absolutely incredible. So you don't really need to have a vehicle. You take the trains, you take the buses, and it's perfectly fine. You get wherever you need to go. And here in the U.S., the cars built the roads. This is actual fact. That's how the highways were built. The car companies such as Ford and Dodge and General Motors, they paid for our highways. And because of this, cars became a staple practice here in the US. And it has a lot of benefits. But here's the biggest issue: when you live in major cities such as New York, Chicago, um, Los Angeles, what other major cities are here in the US? Atlanta.
oh, the
Um,
places.
anyway, there are many, many major places. But transportation, you see, the thing is that to be able to get to point A to point B, you need to be able to have the means to get there. And the fact that we primarily only have one beneficial way of getting around, which is you need to have a vehicle. You need to be able to drive. If you live here in the US, pretty much anywhere except maybe Chicago and New York City, okay? You need a car
Yeah,
or a
I
vehicle. Yeah.
it's I'm just in a bummer kind of mood today.
Oh no, what happened? We were having a really amazing conversation over here. It
Yeah,
was
no, it's a good conversation. I'm having a good time, but I'm a little gripey today just because like I feel just kind of like I have that feeling where I've put so much work into things for so long and why don't I have more of what I wanted? Cuz I've really tried to get what I wanted a lot. I've put a lot of effort into it and I'm still just in the process of getting what I want, trying to get what I want. And I've put a lot of fucking effort into it already for a long time and I'm just feeling a little like discouraged about where I'm at again. And it comes and
patience,
goes, you know.
patience,
The
patience.
patience. I've been
Yeah.
working on patience for
Shh.
the past like
Just,
7
just,
years.
just, 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 just listen. Patience is one of those parts of being a human being where it's terrifying because you don't know the outcome. You don't know. You have to be able to be patient. And it's I know I'm sounding like an asshole right now. It's a fact of reality where some things are slower for others and some things are faster for others. Some people become more successful more quickly. And some people just don't. Some people have to work harder than others. Is that fair? No, I don't think it's fair. But that is a fact of reality that we need to accept, and it's not a negative
Oh, I mean,
view.
I've accepted it. I see it.
Yeah,
It's there.
and it's a view that you can. No, I'm being serious. It's a view that you can not be like, oh, that's so shitty. Be where you say, okay, fine, I can work with that. When you get to that,
Well,
when you,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
for a while I was like mad, but like now it's like I have no choice but to work with that. So
yeah,
like what else?
exactly.
What else do you do? Like
Why fight it? Why waste the time that you already don't have?
I've lost so much time, dude. It's just like insane.
You look adorable. I love this. And you're wearing. Okay, so Carissa, little shout out to Stitch Fix because we both got clothes there.
Stitch Fix dressed me up and took my money.
That
But
they
they
did.
did
It's
they gave me
beautiful.
they gave me some deals. This red thing's mine, but the little jumper, I
It's
could not resist it. I was
it's
like,
absolutely beautiful. It makes you like I could totally see you in a silent picture film. Like Critter like 1933. Like totally. Love it.
I am a little like, what was the word? Spinster?
Mm-hmm. You would be great in a like 20s period film.
I love this jumper, and I always wear
You
my.
have that look. Do you realize this? You have
That's so sweet. I put
um
a lot of makeup on, maybe that's why, but I I like to do like the vintage look. I think that I look really good in like a vintage look, but I was saying that I always wear my pot leaf necklace for the podcast. And I bought this pot leaf necklace from like just like a local artist that like made it. And she was like, "You want to buy that?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was
I
like
love
surprised. Like
that.
she was like, "Really? Like where are you going to wear it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I can't exactly like wear it to work, but like I mean I could, but it's not the type of like thing I'm trying to do at work."
Even though you live in a state where cannabis is recreationally
I
legal,
could,
but
yeah.
it's I don't know, it's not taboo. It's just if someone wants to have a conversation about cannabis, I'm more than happy to. If somebody's not, I'm not. I don't smoke and I'm not gonna like pull out. Great example of this. We have a neighbor. Shout out to Wally. He's awesome. He's so sweet. Him and Alex, they're my neighbors. They're like two doors down. I went over and I asked Wally, I'm like, hey, do you mind if I grab a joint and I smoke it here? Is that okay? And he said, yeah, sure, you can do that outside on the patio. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went
What,
and
you took like one of his joints to
no, no,
smoke?
no, no, no. I had one of, they don't smoke. I had one of my joints. I went back to my apartment.
Oh.
I took the joint, went back there. And, I asked, like, oh, where can I ash? It's just, I don't know.
People
It's
are
just,
like, I don't know where you can ash. Like it's
no, no, no,
like
no. They had an ashtray. Like, they had an
yeah.
ashtray there. I just asked them politely if I can use it. I am, I guess, a polite cannabis smoker. Is that even a thing?
No, yeah, it's totally a thing.
I try
Yeah.
to.
Well, you're just like a polite person, and then you were smoking pot at the moment. I think you're pretty polite. You had your friend over last night, and we were like FaceTiming, and your friend was like, "You're so loud." Like he kept like calling you loud, and I was like, "It's his apartment. Like his volume level is like up to him. Like it's his apartment." I don't know. It was just like funny to have like somebody else at your apartment being like, "You're so loud."
Do
It
you
was
remember what,
funny to me.
do you remember what he said?
No, not really.
Okay.
A few
So,
things. Like,
oh,
there were some funny things. He's like, I'm gonna close my eyes for a minute. It was really cute. Yeah, David's built friendships with his neighbors recently.
well, we have a
My neighbors
little
don't hang. We don't hang.
gay community here. We made a little gay community with a few of my neighbors here in this building. There's quite a number of people a part of the community that's here, and it's totally my kind of people. They're a little older. They don't give a fuck. They're like, yeah, I'm gay. Yeah, I like dick. Yeah, I like vaginas. Lesbians, gays, bis, trans. Who fucking cares? I don't care. Um, but Alan is your. He's a New York gay queen. Um, he's in his 50s, but he looks fabulous. But he's an asshole.
Is he an asshole?
Oh, he's such an asshole.
He's been nice to me, but like, what did he say last night?
Oh, he called. So I dyed my hair. I bleached and dyed my hair last
Oh,
night.
he. Go on.
He called me Oompa Loompa for about 2 hours, then Greenie. He made fun of my hair constantly. Like, I'm not joking. I think it was about 3 hours altogether of just jokes about my hair. He basically wanted to leave my hair completely just bleached blonde. No. I
He's
like
an interesting look.
I like a little bit of blonde, but not no, not all my.
How was it? Was it even or was it splotchy bleached?
No, it was good bleach. I didn't do it correctly.
No, but I mean, like, was it all bleached evenly that you could have left it? Because like it would need to, like, if it was, sometimes when you bleach like a whole head before you're gonna color it, parts of it are kind of like different shades of like bleached. Like it's like kind of splotchy.
Well, this was already bleached, but I got Manic Panic, which I would totally recommend if you need to get a bleach kit. It didn't burn like I've had prior bleaches. It was really good on my scalp. I put it on for about, I think, 20 minutes altogether, like 20, 23, 22. But the problem that I did was that I did the short hairs first, which I realized you're supposed to do that last.
Oh, because it's closer to your scalp.
Correct, right. But it came out well. Like, this didn't like completely die, but like the blonde goes really well with the, and then
no, it looks good in the front. Like to have like a little bit of like a different shade, like right in the very front is totally good. Yeah. I would love to color my hair again, but I also am like just trying to rock my natural.
I know you're doing a great job at it. But the point where I was trying to get at was he basically made fun of my hair for 3 hours, and he was really sweet. We got wings and we watched Sex in the City, but I basically just said, Alan, I'll see you next weekend.
Alan was like falling asleep on your couch and was just kind of like talking shit to the Sex in the City episode.
Oh my God.
And then at one point you just turned the camera around so that I could watch Sex in the City. And
yeah,
I really enjoyed that. Like, it's funny. I'm not going to sit there and watch Sex in the City by myself anymore.
Absolutely not. No.
But watching it with you was quite good. You and Alan, I was like, yes, that's when Carrie does this, and I was like, oh, Carrie's so young. Oh my God, she's like, her whole life's beginning, and it's like, I feel like Carrie again for a minute and all these things. And I was like, yeah, last night was kind of fun. It's honestly been an okay weekend. I shouldn't have gotten so grumpy last night.
It's okay. It happens.
I feel grumpy this morning too, but again, Lost in the Groove is my escape. I feel like you gotta have ways to get away from things. Dude, okay, when like earlier in the week we were talking about stuff to talk about on the podcast, and I wanted to talk about these melatonin gummies.
From Ollie. I know you sent me those.
Gummies.
Let me
I
see. I
was
have it
like,
on my phone.
did you read about this? Like, okay, so well, I wanted to get I have these Ollie gummies and they're for sleeping, okay? And they're melatonin, but I wanted to get the Ollie
Me
gummies that are for sleeping that have melatonin and magnesium because magnesium is supposed to
which
help with
one
like
which
eye
okay,
twitches.
you sent me two. Which one are we going to be doing? Is it the gummy worms or the libido one?
I want to talk about both of them.
Okay,
You
so
won't.
let's do the gummy worms first cuz I was
Well, I was
curious about
talking
those.
about the melatonin with the magnesium, which is
Okay.
supposed to help. I get an eye twitch when I get like really really tired, and it's either like right here or like up here.
You said it's
And
melatonin with
magnesium, but you don't have to talk about that. Anyways, these Ollie like vitamins, they're like melatonin or
snapping.
they're kind of like trendy at the moment. They have them at Target. We could totally sponsor them, but we're also going to talk kind of
Shit
about
about them.
how not completely because I say good things too. The melatonin works.
Mhm.
It makes me sleep and I have dreams when I take them. And the dreams are quite strange sometimes, but at least I'm fucking sleeping and dreaming. So like I'm not going to be picky. I mean, right? Like, if people are like, "Oh, I get really weird dreams." I'm like, "Were they cool?" Like, because honestly, it's kind of cool. Hey, okay, yeah. In that episode of Sex in the City last night, remember Carrie sleeps at like the 27-year-old's house, and she was like, "I'm like reliving my 20s. It's terrible." And she like wakes up and won't stop talking about some stupid dream that he had where his hands were too big. Like he's like, do you remember that? Do you remember? She like wakes up and she's like, I really need some coffee. And he's like, my hands were so big.
He's like my father was there, my girlfriend, they were dead. I don't remember the whole line, and he's like, my hands were big, and he's like, I need coffee. No, this is the best part. She goes down to the bathroom and she looks, she's like, oh my god, there's no toilet paper. She's like, toilet paper, and then he screams out to her, he's like, oh no, I used the last roll to make coffee.
And she's just like, I gotta get out of here. And then like
I loved it.
his roommate comes out and like has no shirt on and he was like, this is Brad, my roommate. Yeah, it was really awful.
Do you want to
She
talk about the libidos? Let's talk about the libidos. I wanted to let's this was
My
so
hands
interesting.
were so big, I was crushing people with my big hands.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a stupid Sex in the City episode. I believe it was in season 1. It was very early. Carrie went and slept with a very sexy 27-year-old. Yeah, she was just talking about how like she's grown up and she's attracted to these like younger, hotter men and she wants to like have sexy fun, but she also kind of
No,
needs
she
like
wanted
a
to
grown up.
do she
She needs a
wanted to
grown up.
she no
And
in the episode she was talking about, if I'm not no, something else. Never mind.
she's
I'm sorry.
talking about being kind of like torn between like this younger, sexy, exciting, kind of passionate
Ooh-ha.
side of yourself and then this like older grown up side and like how to still have this like sexy stuff in a bigger grown up mature like life, and she's kind of like transitioning. It's a very interesting episode, but I mean, that can kind of go into like the libido, Ollie vitamins. So these vitamins that I was talking about that you can get at Target, I don't even know if vitamin is the right word, supplement, I'm not sure. But they have one that I came across on their website that's for your libido. And
Can I read the details?
oh, like look at it. It's like
Okay.
rainbowy. Yeah, read the details.
Rev things up in all the right places. Love and Libido is packed with traditional botanicals to help you boost desire, enhance arousal, and even support sexual satisfaction for women. In other words, we'll take two.
didn't know if that last part was like you or if it was what you were reading. I was like, you're gonna take 2. I know they always want you to eat 2, and with the melatonin, I always eat
Wait,
2.
wait, wait,
I'm
wait,
like,
wait,
"Oh."
wait, 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 wait. There's a little star. Okay, so the star goes down to these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It's got like a yeah, it's not gonna prove it. Okay, so there are vitamins that are gonna help your libido. When we first talked about this, I was like, I don't like, okay, if the problem with your libido is that you're lacking something that is in this specific supplement, it might help your libido. But otherwise, if your libido has nothing to do if your libido suffering has nothing to do with what's in this supplement, it's not going to help you. So like if your libido is suffering because your spouse belittles you all the time, like sorry, I don't think that the supplement's going to do anything for you. If your libido suffers because you don't let yourself have any fun, like, or you don't, these different things, like there I think
there's
that there's
also so
other
many there's also
reasons.
there's also so many other factors to take in mind. For example, if you're an older cut, for example, somebody that is in their 40s, there is testosterone to take in mind. There's estrogen. There's menopause.
But none of that's in here. Like if you
No,
like
and
I
that's the
read
thing. That's the thing about libido is I don't know. This is such a clinical thing that you need to discuss with your doctor. I can't imagine taking a supplement like this would be healthy unless you spoke to a medical professional. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding very corporate right now, but like this is something like when you're dealing with arousal and not being able to get sexually aroused, you've got to speak to a medical professional
well, yeah,
100%.
I feel like you might as well talk to somebody who's like a professional, but like okay,
Yes.
what I'm saying is like I think that the word libido is not a scientific term. I mean, like correct me if I'm wrong,
I
but
don't think so. No.
I think people know what I'm trying to say when I say that libido is not a scientific term.
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying to
I'm
say
gonna
that
go
like
I'm gonna Google that right now.
there's a lot more that goes into what's happening with you. There's so many different reasons, and I feel like using the word libido kind of bottlenecks everything into one type of thing, and that's just it's unproductive for human
Okay.
beings.
So the definition from the Oxford Dictionary is sexual desire. The
Yeah.
psychoanalysis is the energy of the sexual drive as a component of the life instinct. So
Yeah, so not a scientific thing. Like it's not like
no,
it's not a measurement,
it's your
really.
sexual drive, like what gets you sexually aroused. Like,
So,
the,
I mean, like, if
yeah,
this was full of like a bunch of aphrodisiacs, okay, like, and it starts like turning people on, I mean, you might as well be taking ecstasy or something, but that's not really a good idea.
probably would be a lot healthier for you,
I
actually.
don't know. Like, I'm just like, how
No, it would
about,
have. It
but
actually
I know
would be
the
more
first
healthy.
thing, I don't know. Maybe the first thing that people should do is like get a little bit of exercise, try something new. Not just like eat a fucking pill. Okay, so on the website, it has a reviews. It has 444
Okay,
reviews,
I'm gonna
which,
go back to the website. Give me a sec.
and if
Going.
I look at the reviews, it's got 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, so I went through all the reviews and I found the one person who gave it a shit review, like 1 star, okay? And I haven't found anybody who gave it 0 stars, but I did find the one review that has 1 star and
Oh,
it just says anger.
anger. I see it
Which
too.
I
I see
find
it
okay,
too.
can we just, like, as a stoner, I'm just gonna say, like,
I'm gonna take a
first
picture of it
off,
right now. I'm gonna send
we
you a
have
picture of it.
I'm not gonna, like, talk shit about this person at all, but I'm saying,
No,
like, first off, we have a person who sought out the libido pill and took it, okay? And now they're angry. Like, I'm just like, "Oh, shit." Like, I don't know. Okay, so she goes, I think it's a she, I don't really know. "I took these pills and became incredibly irritable and angry for no reason whatsoever." no change in sex drive, just all not the pill for me. So somebody
Pills.
gave it just not the pills for me. It just like, okay, that's the other thing is like, is it a pill? Like, is a vitamin a pill? I don't really know. This
Can
one
I
also
read?
says
Can I
not
can I
for
read?
me.
Can I read the customer experience team response? And I can do a corporate accent. I can do this really well.
Oh, wait, there's a response to
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing
Ready,
where
ready.
they wrote, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah. There's a
Uh,
response that they wrote to
mhm.
the person that was angry. This is
Yes.
David reading it.
Hi, Ollie here. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. FSC is one of our top priorities when it comes to creating our products. So we are very sorry to hear that you did not experience the benefits of Ollie Lovin' Libido. We are here to help you find a delightful supplement that supports your health from the inside out. So please email us at hello@ollie.com so we can further assist you.
Why
Oh,
don't they
there's
like
wait, there's another one. There's
what,
more.
another angry I know, can I be the
There's
angry person?
more. There's more. There's more reviews. There's more reviews. This is
Okay, yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah. This one is from Kelsey. She also obviously didn't have a better sexy
Oh, I love that.
experience after taking these.
Wait,
She
where's
gave it 1
Kelsey?
star. She's lower, just a little bit lower. It says, "Not for me." Which after 2 days of taking it, I would randomly start crying or feel irritated, and that's unlike me. Not sure if it was messing with my hormones, but I had to stop taking it. Sad to sad too, 'cause I just bought it. So, like, she's like, "I just spent money on this and I had to stop taking it."
Wait,
I
wait.
don't know.
There's
Maybe she needed
upset.
to fuck.
There's upset tummy.
Oh,
Oh, it's like I tried these for 3 weeks as described, and all I got was an upset tummy. No sex
she's
drive,
like,
and my stomach hurt really bad. I gave up after 3 weeks for the issues I was having. I spent $20 on these to be honest. Oh.
okay, so then I also wanted to talk about the other supplement or candy or gummy type thing that they make. Okay, because like the melatonin is a gummy, and then
Mm-hmm.
this one is actually kind of like a capsule.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think it'd be really funny to like have them at music festivals, like take these libido pills and like fuck. I have no idea it whatever, but the
Well,
other one.
you know that this is so funny you brought this up. Back in the 70s, there was a strain of LSD. I think it was called like orange marmalade or something. Something orange. You're taking a picture on the podcast. I love this.
I
Um
wanted because I always am like, "I wish I took a picture of us." Yeah. Okay, go on, go on, go on. There
so
was, like, this orange marmalade that used to make people horny.
it used to, yeah, it was a crazy acid trip. And that was like, I guess the prior to Ollie was like, yo man, take like Sunny D, bruh. Like take Sunny Bree and gotta marmalade skies, bruh.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
drugs and partying always,
But
like they have a draw that has to do with, like, sex. Like,
but
people
then
are
again,
like,
Ollie,
"I'm
you
here
said
to
that
get
Ollie
lucky."
helped you though. You said that Ollie helped you though. So
I like the melatonin, I think it's
okay.
good. I think it, like, also just, like, having that, like, mental, like, "I took something, so this should work now." But what I wanted to talk about was that, like, the melatonin are gummies, and then Ollie also makes this, gummy, and I sent you a link for it, and it is to make you happy. It is a gummy. So not only do they make a pill that's supposed to make you wanna have sex, but they also make a gummy worm that is supposed to make you happy. It says, "Hello, happy gummy worms."
Well, I
It
don't need this because I live in Florida. So, thing about living in Florida, we don't need vitamin D. We have plenty of vitamin D. I get vitamin D every single day, which is absolutely fantastic.
there, "Hello, happy." Well, I mean, just the idea of, like, a gummy worm that's supposed to make you happy, like, it just makes me upset, actually. Like, how about I just email them that? I'm like, honestly, your concept makes me unhappy. And they're like, why don't you try some happy gummy worms?
It'll make you happy.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like happy gummy worms. Like, I don't like that they use the word happy or something. Like,
well, look, honey, it's marketing, and you have to understand that these people are trying to be able to make money at the end of the day. When
come on, talk shit with me about the happy gummy worms. It's
well,
so stupid.
it is so stupid. But at the same time, if you are a person living in the UK, for example, yes, I know they look like worms and they're orange and pinkish, and it's kind of makes you like, I want to eat the
Yeah, I know.
whole,
It makes you want to eat them.
all of them. You just like, I
We should get
want
them
all
and
happy. Yeah, I
put
want all
drugs
the
on
happy.
them.
Can you imagine, like, news headline: Man overdoses on Ollie gummy worms,
It'd
eating a
probably
whopping
actually
50
be,
containers.
yeah,
50
trying
contain.
to get happy.
Yeah,
I
he's trying
just
to get
wanted to feel happy. I just wanted to,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
I could probably use some happy gummy worms.
Oh
I
my
could
god.
probably, honestly, I don't know. I don't like the word libido. I think it's funny that people are gonna eat a gummy worm to be happy. I mean, I've had food make me happy before, so it's not completely insane, you know.
I think we should replace it with, instead of libido, Danny DeVito. Let's replace that. Just
Just
think
the
about Danny
Danny
DeVito
DeVito pills. Yeah.
instead. Just like imagine him in the white wig with the black turtleneck on the bottle. I love Danny. I
Is
just,
that your favorite Danny DeVito? Is with the white wig and the black turtleneck?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think, was his crowning experience. He's a fantastic actor. He really is. He goes all in, but
There was a lot that happened in
a
Always
lot that
Sunny.
happened in there, and he gave a fantastic performance. He really is an amazing actor. So I hope one day I can meet the man. Probably not, but
He did for a minute there. They went around and did like Always Sunny in Philadelphia live. Like they did like a tour of live performances where he dressed up as his characters and was like some of the characters from the show at different times. And I mean, that would have just been incredible to
can
see
you
Always Sunny
can you
live.
imagine can you imagine walking into Danny DeVito's house? Okay, first off, his wife, she was on Cher, not Cheers, sorry, Cheers, bleh, which was an incredible TV sitcom. Um, and like the house is completely clean. Like his house is spick and span. You're like, this can't be Danny DeVito's house. He, just think about it. He plays a dirty character, but he's not. I have a feeling that he, in reality, is actually a very clean person.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he's organized enough to figure out like a schedule for like cleaning his home or having someone clean his home or something
He
like that.
probably
But
has somebody clean his home.
I have been cleaning my home so much in the past like week. It's just like ick. I'm icked from cleaning, to be honest. All the cleaning has made me feel dirty. No, but I feel like I've been like really, really productive. It's been good. I don't know why I gripe so much. Should let it go.
No, it's understandable because, like we said earlier, it's going up the hill and being able to now say, all right, we got through this. Whew.
Yeah, I'm halfway through my biology class, which is cool. Like I'm like halfway through. I So we had talked about kind of like getting over a hump. I wonder if a lot of people feel that way right now where they've kind of gotten like over a halfway mark of something that they were trying to do. I don't know if you can relate to that feeling right now. I don't know. I just think your hair just looks incredible.
Thank you.
Um, I don't know kind of how to sum up what kind of week this has been, but I do feel like I kind of have gotten to
A victory.
like a point. I don't know if I've gotten the victory yet, but I've kind of like gotten over a hump.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's an accomplishment. Getting over a hump, getting over a hill. You know, like I said also before, I got over a hill too. Like I'm starting to actually now like heal and be able to
Yeah.
walk and be able to then
Okay.
run. And I I understand where you're coming from. Like I'm ready to just like, I get like Carissa right now is like, I'm gonna get through nursing school. I'm gonna get through this fucking shit. And
It takes forever.
I know. Everything takes forever, honey.
Like
Everything
we
takes
again with the patience. Yeah. The patience.
But
I don't know. Everybody else does what they're supposed to, so I guess I can too.
I guess so. You want to? I think
It's been a wonderful episode
it has.
of American Groove. We'll be back together next weekend, hopefully.
Yes.
And I hope that you enjoyed our silly talk about vitamin supplements and how to communicate better with people, and not let yourself just get grouped into group thinking.
I'm an
Let yourself
agenda.
be an individual. Yeah, don't be part of the agenda. Just think for yourself, communicate with other people, talk about ideas, listen, don't belittle people for being different. I mean, American Groove, we're here. You want to be a guest on American Groove? Reach out.
Yes. If you have anything you want to share, if you want to come onto the podcast, we actually have an email. It's lostinthegroove with 3 O's at gmail.com. You can reach out there, as well as Instagram at Lost in the Groove Pod. We're on Facebook as well, on TikTok and YouTube, so you can see us in person. I mean, my fucking Joker here right now. And
yeah, I didn't think about your hair as the Joker.
Joker, but yeah, that just comes to mind. And if you love Carissa as much as I do, you could check her out on Instagram at Carissa the Beautiful. She is a makeup artist, a fully licensed esthetician, candle maker, and pug lover. Hello, where the fuck is Louis over here, all right?
He's sleeping.
He's sleeping. But yeah, this has been American Groove, which is a Lost in Groove segment hosted by me, Dave, and
Carissa.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, guys.